Hi, okay, we're ready to roll again, and let's roll on with the next three letters. We have the Teth, the Yod, and the Kaf. I love Yod because the Lord told us, and Jesus himself talked about this letter. What a neat little thing that was for him to talk about that. Why do you think he talked about that letter? Because he said, it's even though it's the smallest of all the letters, even that little symbol would not be missed. Not even that little part would not be completed, because that little part has such an important meaning. It is the hand, the little hand from God reaching down, or the big hand. It's so simple little symbol, the yod. I love it. Yod. But the very first one was not so tiny as that. The very first one was huge. And it was really funny. It was an arm, the two parts of your arm, and then a hand. So the very first one you see on all the Egyptian writings looks more like this, the Yod. So this, I like the Hebrew one because, oh my goodness, I have to write this one every time, no. And how much to put it in a sentence is going to take forever. So fabulous that they did decrease that one down, as long as you realize that this still means the hand. It is the hand of God, and in Hebrew they also do a block form, a print form. It looks like that. The hand of God reaching down. It's only at the very top of the line. We talked about where things sit on the line. It is not down here. It's right up here at the top. So it, little tiny letter, Yod. And I skipped right past Tet to go to it because I like it better than the Tet. So I don't like the Tet because this is like the worldly kind of, I always think of it as this is the worldly. Okay, this is the worldly side of humans. It's actually supposed to look like the face. My.
Heart.
Doing good. Oh, wrong. There we go. That makes more sense. Okay, so let's talk about this Tet. The very first one you see looks like a plate with food on it. It meant to surround and contain. You also see it like this. Remember we talked about this one, the world divided into four quarters? This is one of the very first symbols that you see of this letter. It's similar to our G. And we make our G like this, but it's backwards, once again flipped. So let's flip it and do it like that. Still a G, just flipped. Now it's supposed to mean, this is supposed to be the head of someone, and this is their mouth. This is where they're coming in. This is their mouth. So this is our G. If you flip our G upside down, this is the mouth. And it's related to the plate and the food, but it always meant mouth. And it's to provide. It's also a clay pot. It also meant food. It also meant mud. We are mud. We are dirt. We're clay. We are all these things. So it's the most symbolism of what we are. For some reason, it's not here. Once again, it can be symbol of earth or humanity or all of us, but mostly it's eating. It's something going into your open mouth right there. Let me see if I have any more notes. Okay, it says to contain, to surround, to curve the earth. It also could represent the snake. So another thing that's kind of bad, basket to put or plate to put your stuff in. It means mud. It means roll. It means plate. I like to think of it as Moses in the basket. And he contained him and they saved him. And the whole generation of the world went forward because he was contained in that basket. And he was fed and he was allowed to continue. It's all good things that the Lord gives us when he gives us food and he gives us this world and he gives us the plate of food. It's all from him. So even though it might be worldly, it's all from God. And so we need to remember that. And he did provide, and he does provide. Okay, so we'll go on and move on to the Yod and the smallest letter. Once again, the hand reaching down. It also means worship, but mostly hand. And once again, you see the little Yod and the big hand Yod. And then we'll move on to the Kaf. The Kaf is, look, it's your hand too. Your palm of your hand. And then there's a final Kaf, what we will look like in the end, because we won't have these hands anymore. We're going to have a different form when we're done here. But the kaf is always a symbolism of the hand, and you can see the hand. Sometimes you see a bird foot here on some of the old symbols. A cup of pouring out. The C can be put this way, a C can be put this way, a C can be put this way. And what you see, you're going to see it's flipping. This is their kaf C, and this is our kaf C. So once again, you can see the flip that happened and why it was hidden and how it got hidden. And for some reason, it's missing. Oh my goodness. Okay, so let's go to the kaf. Okay, let me write it up above since it's fell off or been ripped off or something happened to it. Let me see. Up here we have the kaf. Oh, let me just read it instead. The kaf. Okay, we have the final kaf, we have the regular kaf. Kaf means to give. It's a hand giving. It means to worship. It's a hand raising up and worshiping. It's a hand marked, that's marked by God, actually. So it's marked with our actual, we're palms. We're marked. This is our hand. And it also is a symbol of a wing. You see, sometimes you can see a bird foot in it. It means to tame, because we have to tame our hands. We have to tame animals. We have to tame ourselves, our hearts. And it also means to allow. So it also means open or bend. Our hand opens and bends. The palm of the hand, once again, opening hand to give. A palm of the hand is also reaching out and grabbing. Cup of your hand, you can cover yourself, cover your eyes, cover your ears. So the right hand of God is what we need to know, is the hand. And the kaf is in Psalm 119. It's in verse 81, and it goes to verse 88. So you can learn about how we should be even more about this word in the kaf, and I don't know why it's missing. So, drama. Oh well. We'll skip to the next letter since it's not there. We got room for one more. And we'll do my favorite one, the lamad. I love the lamad. I love the saying lamad. I love that it's a hook. It is the greatest thing. Okay, so it's a shepherd rod. Think of that as it's so silly that we've taken the shepherd rod and we made it something that should be. We use the rod to correct, and they think that we're supposed to take this rod and we're supposed to beat our kids with it. We're not. That rod was to guide, to direct, to reach out, to save, to hook them, to pull them back, to guide them where they need to go. If someone came against you, you would take that rod and you would beat off the enemy with that rod. That rod was a protection. That rod was not used to beat on its children. That rod was a good thing. So I need you to know that rod and that shepherd hook and that thing was a good thing. It was not used for beating. It was used for protecting. And you belong to the king. You're hooked. So the lamad means to direct, to bring good things. And God takes his shepherd hook and he directs us and he leads us with it. And he beats off the bad things and he hooks us and pulls us out of the cracks when we get into the bad place. And that is how I like to see the lamad. And once again, it looks like our question mark. It's ridiculous. It is not a question. It's not a question that God lives. He is our God. He is going to hook us. He is going to save us. It's not a question. It is a hook. And we are to be fishers of men. We are to hook men. We are to do whatever we can to get them and to save them. And that is the lamad. I love the lamad. So there we got some more letters. And I hope you're learning and having fun like I'm having fun. And let me see if I can read one little bit more about the lamad before we go. It's such a good letter. Oh, and I wanted to show you how it's bigger than all the letters. So right next to, you got that little tiny yod here, and now we want to look at, we actually have this big, huge lamad, and it doesn't fit into the regular picture. You really need to see how it goes above and beyond the line. So you have the line down here and the line up here. Well, it doesn't fit inside these lines. It comes way out above the lines. And some of the final forms do that. So when the word was normally stuck in this area, when it changes its final form, it goes down out of this area. It's no longer confined to this area of heaven and earth. It changes its form. And I like that the lamad, when you're learning Hebrew, this letter is always standing out in the sentence because it's bigger and taller than all the rest of the letters. And you put this big old lamad and then you put a little tiny yod next to it, you barely even see the yod. But guess what? The Lord says not even that Yod will be forgiven. Won't be even, it's all going to be completed. This will be completed and this will be completed because these have meanings. Okay, so here we go, more fun. So go on NASA's site now. Look at the Lamad and look at the triangle. Look at Leo and see the Lamad and see the triangle. How did they try and hide it? How did these people try and hide the B and the Lamad? Guess what they did? All they had to do was add one more line and you can no longer see the Lamad and the triangle. Luckily, the site I went on had drawn it exactly like this. And when I saw it, I said the B and the Lamad, no way, in Leo. But people have tried to hide it. Guess what they did? They connected this to this to make it look like a lion because they wanted to make it look like a lion. So they added another line right here on some of them. When they do that, that's how the devil deceives. He's hidden the message. You can no longer see the house or the Lamad. You now see a lion. So don't be deceived and look for the gospel in the stars because it's out there. Thank you for joining me again. We'll do more later.